All right, Shalom. Welcome to another live video. All right, and as always, before I get started, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash, and next double honors to the head apostles / elder bishops of the great millstone who teach and who rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety to all you sincere Akim. Keep pushing, keep believing, and keep the faith, regardless of whether people hear or whether they forbear. All right. So this lesson is going to be going to the topic of feminism and how it was created to destabilize society. Okay, and I've got a video clip I'm going to play to get the lesson started off. All right, it's from a man named Aaron Russo. All right, and he was speaking on some conversations that he had with one of the Rothschilds. Okay, which if you don't know who the Rothschilds are, they're one of the many elite banking families. All right, also known in the Bible as Lucifer. Okay, the illuminated ones. All right, and pretty much in this short clip, he's going into how he was speaking with one of the Rothschilds about how the purpose of why feminism and women's liberation was created. Okay, and it's just going to show how this society has been socially engineered and designed to be the way that it is. That's why we see so much social chaos. Okay, the man and woman ain't getting along. All kind of wickedness happening in the society, and it's all been socially engineered. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this video. It's very short. It's only about 2 minutes long, maybe, and we'll go ahead and dive right into it in the scriptures from a spiritual perspective. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. And Lord's will is edifying to the elect. All right. Okay, so the video, it's entitled Aaron Russo. Okay, feminism created to destabilize society. All right.
The house one night, and we were talking, and he started laughing. He said, "Aaron, what do you think women's liberation was about?" And I said, I had pretty conventional thinking about it at that point. I said, I think it's about women having the right to work, getting equal pay with men, just like they won the right to vote, And he started to laugh. He said, "You're an idiot." And I said, "Why am I an idiot?" He said, let me tell you what that was about. We, the Rockefellers, funded that. We funded women's lib, And we're the ones who got all over the newspapers and television, the Rockefeller Foundation. He says, and you want to know why? He says, there were two primary reasons. And one reason was we couldn't tax half the population before women's lib. And the second reason was now we get the kids in school at an early age. We can indoctrinate the kids how to think. It breaks up the family. The kids start looking at the state as the family, as the school, as the officials, as their family, not as the parents teaching them. And so those are the two primary reasons for women's lib, which I thought up to that point was a noble thing. When I saw their intentions behind it, where they were coming from when they created it, the thought of it, I saw the evil behind what I thought was a noble venture.
All right.
The house.
Okay, so you saw the video clip. All right, and once again, he was having a conversation with one of the Rothschilds. Okay, now we know this to be true. Okay, because if you look at the effects of it, just years down the line, been about 40. I would say, actually, it's been 70 years since, 60 something years since radical feminism first emerged. All right. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and look that up right quick. All right. But you can see the effects of it in today's society. Okay. And Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabarakatah, brother Imraya. All right, San Antonio, Texas. Okay, once again, as I always say, subscribe and be edified. All right, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to, let's see, we'll go ahead and go and look up when, radical feminism first had emerged, right? And if, like I said, if you look, you can see, all right, if you look, you can see the effects of it in today's society. All right, everything is completely out of order. All right, and as he said that the reason why they brought it out is one, so that they could tax the other half of the population, and also so they can get the children out of the household and into the school system where they can indoctrinate them. Okay, so it says radical feminism emerged in the 1960s in Western countries, primarily in the United States, France, England, and Canada. All right. Now, as he said, I thought this was for a noble cause, but the reason why it ended up causing chaos is because the premise of it, right, which now we're starting to see, more of it today. Okay, the premise of it wasn't so much equal rights. Okay, it's more so about superiority. Okay, and we see it in today's society. A lot of women believe that they really are above and better than men. Okay, and Esau, he pushes that narrative. Okay, and the reason why he does that is because really men, especially when they're in their masculine energy, they're hard to control. All right, they're hard to be swayed. They're going to stand for what's right, for justice, especially righteous men. Okay, especially men of the elect. Right, but when you're in a society where men are effeminate, all right, when you have any kind of order that is being established, all right, against the betterment for the people, and you're not going to have any men to be able to fight that, all right, which is really the reason why the elect on this side and the men of the Lord are such a small number, because we're really the only ones that stand up against the tyranny, all right, that is being pushed and is really getting ready to be pushed hardcore in a few years to come. Okay, we're really the only men that are willing to do that, and the reason why is because most men in today's society are very feminine, they're very weak, and they worship women. All right, and that's the thing about it. And I was talking with the brothers about this the other day. Okay, if men are controlled by women and women are controlled by society and society is controlled by the ruling class, the elite banking families, then you just keep going up the line and you see who's really in control. But see, when men are in their masculine energy, all right, and then you come and try to push some BS on them, what are they going to do? They're going to revolt, they're going to rebel, all right? And that's what they used to do. You've had many different rebellions, throughout world history, okay? But now in today's society, where everything is over sexualized, men are pretty much queen of heaven worshipers, all right? There's not really very many men that are actually stand up against wickedness in the society, okay? Because they're too worried about, what their wife is going to think, what women think. A real man, okay, a true man is going to stand up for justice no matter what. Let's go ahead and get a precept on that. All right. A true man is going to stand up for justice no matter what, and he doesn't give a damn about what people think about him. Okay, this is First Kings chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 1. All right, and this is King David speaking to his son. Okay, he's getting prepared to pass away. All right, and he's telling his son pretty much to stand on business. All right, show thyself a man. This is First Kings chapter 2 and verse 1. All right, it says, now the days of David drew nigh that he should die, and he charged Solomon his son, saying, I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and shew thyself a man. Okay, it says, and keep the charge of the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgments and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest, and whithersoever thou turnest thyself. All right, so King David is telling his son, all right, Solomon, okay, go out and show thyself a man. Stand up for justice, stand up for righteousness. You don't have too much of that today. All right. Another thing that feminism did is, once again, they made men to think. It made people to think that men and women are equal. Okay, and we're not. Okay, men were set up. Men were set up to be above women, to be their leaders. All right, and then in this society, okay, that is something that is, to even say that, is looked down upon. All right, but this is the biblical order the Lord set up. 1 Corinthians 11, all right, and verse 1 Corinthians 11 and verse 2. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I deliver them to you. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Yahushai, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Yahushai is the father Yahweh. Okay, but the head of the woman is the man. Okay, the men are supposed to be the leaders in society. All right, in this society, most men are completely emasculated. All right, and this leads to all kind of chaos. Let's get this. It's in the law as well that a man is supposed to be the leader. Numbers 27 and 16. Okay, it says, let the Lord, the God of the spirits of all flesh, set a man over the congregation. All right, next verse. It says, which may go out before them and which may go in before them. Excuse me, which may go out before them and which may go in before them, and which may lead them out and which may bring them in, that the congregation of the Lord be not as sheep which have no shepherd. Okay, so the man was ordained to be the leader, all right, of the congregation of the household. Okay, and what has happened? All right, we're in a society now where that has been, pretty much pushed aside. Okay, now we live in the so-called Black community, especially. We live in a matriarchy. A matriarchy is where women are ruling over the society, and that's led to all kind of chaos and confusion. Okay, because that's not the way that Yahweh Shem Yahushai ordained things to be. Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahushai Barakatah. All right, the brother Rayab on the comment board. All right, he put up a few scriptures. I'm gonna go ahead and get them. He put up Sirach chapter 3 at verse 9. It says, "For the blessing of the father establisheth the houses of children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations." All right, in that first part, the blessing of the father established the house of the children. Okay, when you take the fathers out of the household, you have no spiritual leader, you have no head to guide the children in righteousness. Okay, it's been statistically proven. All right, that matter of fact, let's go ahead and get it. All right, quick, we'll go to Google. All right, it's been statistically proven that children that come from single mother households, all right, they grow up with all kind of different issues and problems. All right, let's go ahead and look that up. Yep, and then I'll get your next scripture, brother, that you put up. Okay, so all right, it says, I put KJV behind it, my bad. I'm so used to searching up scriptures. Okay, all right, so I just typed in children that grow up without a father. All right, it says, children who grow up without a father can experience a number of negative outcomes, including children without fathers are more likely to experience anxiety, depression, and other emotional problems. They may also be at a higher risk for suicide and self-harm. Okay, it says children without fathers may have more difficulty with social adjustment and may be more likely to act out. They may also develop an intimidating persona to mask their underlying feelings. Where do we see this at? We see this in the so-called Negro and Latino communities. Okay, we see young Negroes and Latinos, so-called, going out there trying to be thugs, trying to be hard, okay, trying to be gangsters, and really deep down inside, they're really just emotional little bitches. All right, but that's because they didn't have a father to teach them true masculinity. All right, true masculinity is not, crashing out because somebody stepped on your Jordans. Okay, that's not true masculinity. All right, true masculinity is being able to contain, even if you do have the power to destroy, all right, only using it for righteous causes. Okay, that's true masculinity right there. But when you don't have a father to teach you that, you grew up under an emotional woman, all right, she's always pouring out her emotions on you. You think that that's the way to be, all right, and you see, on television, all right, because that's another thing. You don't, like I said, you don't have the father in the household to show you what a true man is supposed to be, all right, one who keeps the law, statutes, the commandments. He moves in integrity. All right. So where do you get your image of masculinity from? You get it from the television. Okay. Well, who controls TV, music, media, radio? All right. Esau, Edom. Okay. Specifically the elite banking families. Okay. And even their lower level Amalekites, the JOOs. Okay. They're the ones that control the rap music labels and all that stuff. And they're the ones that push those images, on young men. Okay, and who is that mostly directed towards? It's mostly directed towards Jake, all right, towards the Israelites. All right. So let's get some more comments off the board. Okay, the brother Rayab, he put up Jeremiah 31:22. All right, it says, "How long wilt thou go about, O backsliding daughter? For Yahweh hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man." Right, exactly. That's a curse. Okay, people don't get that. Right, the Lord set up for men to be in rulership, to be in leadership. That's the reason why even today relationships are complete shambles. All right, because men and women don't know their roles. All right, you got dudes trying to be women, you got women trying to be men. All right, even on social media, they brag about how I'm a guy too, I'm a nigga too. Well, men don't want to be with niggas. Okay, men don't want to be with harsh, brash, bitches, man. All right, there's no other way to say it. Okay, there's no way to say it nicely. No man wants to be with a damn a dragon. All right, let's get a precept on that. All right. Okay, so Sirach 26 and verse 14. All right, so Sirach 26 and verse 14. Okay, and it reads, it says, "A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. How are you going to be well instructed when you think that you are equal to or above the one that's supposed to be instructing you? You see? Let's get some more precepts off the board. Okay, the brother he put up Ephesians 5 and 22. All right. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Hamashiach is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. And that's another thing they don't get. Okay. The men of the Lord, that they're going to be the ones that are your protection in that day. Okay. They're going to be the ones that are guiding you in that day. A brother could put up Isaiah 32 and 2. Okay. Let's get this one. Isaiah 46 and 8. Remember this and show yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors. Verse 9. Remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh and there is none else. I am Yahweh and there is none like me. All right, fire. Okay, but remember this and show yourselves men. Okay, this trend that we see in society has caused all kind of chaos and social issues. All right, let's go ahead and get some more precepts though. This is in the curses. Okay, this is a curse that is upon our nation because of our own disobedience. And really the only ones that are going to escape it are the elect. Okay, they're really the only ones that are going to, we're not going to escape the curses until the Lord comes back, but we're able to know and understand why these things are the way that they are and to not play into the traps. Right? Because most Jakes today, okay, they're if they are in a relationship with a woman, it's completely dysfunctional. All right. And that's the reason why, because of these curses. But ultimately, the Lord had put the spirit on these elite banking families to set things up to be this way. Okay. This is Deuteronomy 28. If anyone doesn't know, this is the primary place where you find the curses that are associated with the children of Israel until the time of the end. Or you can get Leviticus 26 chapter. Either one of those, but Deuteronomy 28 goes into a little more detail. All right. So it says, Deuteronomy 28 and verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. All right, the last thing that you think of when you think of the modern day American woman is tender and delicate. That's the last, especially Jake women. Okay, especially Jake women. Okay, so-called Negro and Latino women, and that's because of these curses right here. All right, that's the last thing that you think of is tender, delicate, feminine, soft. All these things are things that women should encapsulate. All right, these are things that women should be. They should be feminine. Okay, but these are the last thing that you think of when you think of women today. It says, and so her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet. You see a lot of women deleting their offsprings, man. All right. And toward her children, which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things, secretly in the siege and straitness, with thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. And this happened in multiple different captivities. All right, but the main one that comes to mind, okay, is the siege of Jerusalem, 70 AD. All right. But anyways, okay, this is a part of the curses, okay, that their eye would be evil towards us, and same vice versa. Okay, I'm not going to absolve, these 2/3 Jakes, okay, these 2/3 niggas out here wicked in the world, man. I'm not going to absolve them of their wickedness, but this message today, we're going into the woman. All right, so brothers put up more comments on the board. Okay, put up Isaiah 32 and 2. All right, and it reads, it says, and a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, and as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. Okay, right. Why is that? Because when the time comes for Jacob's trouble to pop off, the Lord is going to give his elect men spiritual power, and they're going to be the ones that protect and really choose and decide who survives that time. If you're a woman, you're going to have to be chosen by a man of the Lord in that day. So Esau's got you in a trick bag, okay, because he's going to be the one you need protection from. All right, but he's put the spirit on you, through his wine and philosophy, to turn away from your protector, from your leader. All right. And then now the brother Rayab, he put up Ephesians 5 and 24. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Hamashiach, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. That's right. Fire. Then he put up Lamentations 4 and 3. This is part of the curses. All right. Adding on to that, what we read in Deuteronomy 28. It It says, even the sea monsters draw out the breast. They give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people has become cruel, like the ostriches in the wilderness, and they're very aggressive animals. Okay, so the daughter of my people, the Israelites. Okay, like I said, these women have become very cruel, man. Okay, that's the reason why we're gonna get some statistics after I finish these comments on the board. All right, going into how radical feminism, we brought it out earlier, started emerging in the 1960s, right? And that is when the decline of the so-called the two-parent household started to really manifest. Okay, not too long after that, this I'm not gonna misquote it, but pretty much the number of single-parent households doubled within less than 20 years after radical feminism came out. But it's all socially engineered, it's designed to be that way. All right, so we'll read these last two scriptures off the board. Okay, the brother Rayab put up 2nd Ezra 5 and 8. It says, there shall be confusion also in many places. That's all you see. Babylon the Great, the land of confusion. And the fire shall be sent out often again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters as fire. All right, this is going to Jacob's trouble. Okay, it's going to be pure chaos and confusion. And the only way that a woman is going to make it through is if a man of the Lord chooses her in that day. Okay, so you followed behind Esau, his wine and philosophy, and that is going to lead to your destruction because you rebelled against your leaders and your protectors. All right, he put up 2 Peter 2 and 19. Ooh, fire. Hey, y'all lighten it up. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna read these read these last two, and then I'm gonna get to the statistics because I keep going. We're gonna be here all day. I got to get to the plantation in an hour. All right, 2 Peter 2 and 19. While they promised them liberty, they themselves are servants of corruption. For of whom a man is overcome, of the same is he brought into bondage. That's right. And Esau promised Eve liberty. Okay, and what did she do? She rebelled against her leader, her protector. But we did that. All right. The children of Israel as a whole rebelled against their protector and their leader. Okay, the Heavenly Father Yahweh. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get the statistics. And then you that are watching, go ahead and read the comments that are going up on the live chat because that's also extra edification being added to this lesson. All right. Well, let's go ahead and read those statistics that I pulled up right quick. First one I got, this is from an article by The Atlantic. All right. And this is the title of it is The Breakdown of the Black Family. Okay. And these curses apply to all Israelites, not just so-called Negroes, but the so-called Negroes being the tribe of Judah, the head tribe. Okay, we tend to get the worst end of the curses. All right, so, but this article, it applies really to all the Israelites. This is, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and get the statistics. It says, let's see. Okay, it says children suffer when their parents go to prison, Coates writes. Yet he says nothing about the suffering of Black children growing up in chaotic families, though that suffering is itself highly correlated with the scourge of ghetto crime and incarceration. All right. And that's another part of it as well. Okay. When you don't have, like I said, you don't have a father in the household, you grow up and you're taught by the media, you're taught by whatever you see on television, which also adds to Esau's wicked plans because that pretty much brings out more slaves for the prison industrial complex. All right. Mass incarceration was something that also was implemented and used against Israelite families, so-called Negroes and Latinos, all through, pretty much the 70s on up till even today. All right. And also, it says a scourge of ghetto crime, and this is just for edification's sake. Okay, if you don't know, I'm gonna go to Google. If you don't know, when you look up the definition of the word of ghetto, okay. So it says a poor urban area occupied primarily by a minority group or groups. Okay, historical, it says the Jewish quarter in a city. All right. So ironically, the actual Israelites, the actual Jews, okay, live in the ghettos of America. Okay. The actual biblical tribe of Yahawada, all right, which is the true Paleo-Hebrew pronunciation for what people call the Jews. Okay, it's Yahawada or Judah. All right, in the English, okay, that's where they dwell. They dwell in the ghettos of America, Babylon the Great. All right, so I just wanted to bring out that tidbit. Okay, we're going to go back to this article, all right, from The Atlantic and do a little bit more reading. All right, So it says 72% of Black children are born to unmarried mothers. The majority of those children will see contact with their fathers drop sharply within a few years. About a third of dads will basically just disappear. Children don't take well to the succession of the partners, step, and half siblings that follow their parents' breakup. Studies, not just a few, but a slew of them, connect multi partner fertility and father absence to behavior problems, aggression, and later criminality among boys, even when controlling for race and income. So it said even when controlling for race and income. So this affects anybody that this situation comes upon. But guess who it was targeted on? It was targeted on the so-called Negroes and Latinos. Okay, you don't hear Arab women, Ishmaelite women talking about I don't need a man. Well, maybe you do in 2024. Okay, but the main place that you saw that was in so-called Negro and Latino households. I don't need a man. I'm strong and independent. All right, but we see what being strong and independent, I don't need a man leads to statistically. Okay, and make no mistake, there is no coincidence here that it says, all right, before 1960, when poverty and racism were by all accounts far worse, the Black family was considerably more stable. All right, let's go back to Google. Remember that date, 1960. I brought it out. I'm gonna bring it out again. I brought it out. I'm just gonna bring it out again. All right. When here, let's look it up. When did radical feminism emerge? Radical feminism emerged in the early 1960s as part of the second wave of feminism. This is not a coincidence. All right. It was socially engineered to be this way. Okay, we go back to the article in the Atlantic. All right. It says before 1960, poverty and racism were by all accounts far worse. The Black family was considerably more stable throughout the first half of the 20th century. The large majority of Black women were married before they had children. Black children were less likely than whites to grow up in two-parent households, but only slightly so. It was only after 1960, even as more Black men were finding jobs and even as legal discrimination was being dismantled with civil rights legislation, that the family began to unravel. So it's saying after 1960, that so-called Black men were able to find jobs, legal discrimination was being dismantled, yet somehow the quote unquote Black family was beginning to unravel. All right, why is that? Because of radical feminism. Okay, you cannot have two bulls in a pen. All right, you got to have you got to have one leader and a follower. That's how it is. You cannot have two leaders that oppose each other. All right, trying to make decisions. It's not going to work. All right, now that being said, okay, men are not supposed to be tyrants over their wives. Okay, but at the end of the day, the Lord ordained it for the man as the leader of the household to have the final say so, and that is who the Lord gives the mysteries to. Okay, the Lord deals directly, okay, through Yahushai to the men. All right, and then the man deals with the women and the children. Okay, that's the order of things. That's the order that the Lord established. All right, now let's go to this other article that I got pulled up and probably get a few more scriptures off the board and get ready to close out. Okay, so this one is from let's see, it's from honestly, it doesn't really say. Okay, Journal of Economic Perspectives, Volume 4. Okay, fall of 1990. All right, and it's entitled "The Family Change Among Black Americans. What Do We Know?" All right, it says the changes in family structures of Black American households over the past 3 decades. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in so you can see a little bit better. Okay, perfect. There we go. It says the changes in family structures of Black American households over the past 3 decades have been remarkable. Remember, this was written in 1990. In 1960, 33% of Black children were not living with two parents. By 1988, less than 30 years later, the figure had risen to 61%. During the same period, the fraction of all Black children born to an unmarried mother rose from 23% to over 60%. This paper examines the patterns of family change and briefly discusses their economic implications and explores what is known about the economic reasons for those changes. Unfortunately, there remains no clear indication of why families change so much, in part because of the modest amount of work in this field, but the data do reveal some important hints, and our hope is that this paper may serve to inspire more and better research. All right. So it's reiterating the same points that was in the last article. Okay, there's actually more jobs, more economic rising, I guess you could call it. All right, but yet the families were splitting up more, and there's no coincidence that in the 60s, that's when radical feminism started to pop off. Okay, and it was directly targeted onto so-called Negro and Latino communities. All right, it says the changes in Black families reflect three trends: very large declines in marriage, increases in divorce and separation, and changes in the relative fertility of married and unmarried women. All right, and it has a little table down here, which we're just going to look at the table real quick. All right, and they can't make the correlation between, maybe they just don't want to. They don't make the correlation between social issues and the decline in two-parent households. All right, but as you can see, it gives you statistics here in table one. Okay, so you have 1960, 1970, 1980, and 1988, and the article was posted in 1990. Okay, so you can see the numbers of positive attributes, okay, decline steadily as the years go by. Okay, as in percentage of Black women 15 through 44 married, spouse present. Okay, in 1960, 51%, and it just continues to decline. And you see the same trends in the rest of the table as we go on. I'm not going to read any more of this. I'm going to go ahead and go to the scriptures and get ready to close out, but I will leave both the articles in the description section if anyone wants to go and explore more into this topic. All right. But let's go ahead and go back. We're going to go to the scriptures now. Some of the brothers brought out ones that I was going to bring. So the water for that saves me some time. I'm going to go to Isaiah, the 3rd chapter. All right. And we'll go ahead and read verses 1 through 12 and maybe get some comments off the board and get ready to close out. Okay. So I'll read some off the board right quick. Brother put up, let's see. I'm not going to read them all, but the water, you guys are lighting it up as always. All right. I love this one right here. The book of actually, matter of fact, man, I'm gonna get Imraya's comment first. Psalms 82 and 5 says, "They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness, and all the foundations of the earth are out of course." Boom, that's beautiful. Okay, that's a fire one. Pretty much as it says, all the foundations of the earth are out of course. Why? Because people are following behind a throne of iniquity, spoken of in Psalms 96 and 20. All right. And then the brother Rayab put up Sirach 26 and 12. All right. Matter of fact, to really even get this, I have to read the verses before it. I'm not going to get this one. I'm going to get verse 13 instead. Sirach 26 and 13. It says, "The grace of a wife delighteth her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones." Okay, verse 14, "A silent and loving woman is a gift of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed." That's right. Fire. He put up Isaiah 29 and 16. "Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay." Okay, who Esau, he's flipped this society upside down. Okay, through his wayward doctrines, his wine, his philosophy. The people are drunk off of Esau's wine, man. All right, that's why society is, is what's what I'm looking for. The society is it slips my mind right now. I can't think of it, but it's drunken. Okay, it staggers about, I guess you could say. Okay, it says for shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not, or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he hath no understanding. That's right. Genesis 2 and 18. Okay, and Yahweh, the Most High, said, "It is not good that man should be alone. I will make him an help meet for him." That's right. That's what a woman is supposed to be, a help meet. She's not supposed to be, trying to run the household. Okay, being aggressive towards her man. She's supposed to be submissive and obedient. All right. I had a woman just recently. She asked me, okay, because I was, teaching her about the prophecies and all that, and she said, "Well, what do you look for? Well, what is going to be your criteria in choosing a woman in that day?" Okay, well, obviously, women who were doing the right thing, they're going to be pre-selected in that time, right? But um, I told her, I said, if you want to attract a man of the Lord, okay, learn to be obedient. All right. She didn't want to talk after that. Hey, and that's okay. That's a-okay. Hey, because she's going to be one of those that is probably not chosen. And what's going to happen? She's going to be deleted. All right. No one's going to put up with that in that day. The Lord is going to restore order. All right. This is Sirach 36 and 24. It says, he that getteth a wife beginneth a possession and a help like unto himself and a pillar of rest. Right. That's exactly what she's supposed to be, a pillar of rest. All right. And a help like unto himself. The last scripture he put up, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 24. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world. All right. Envy of the devil, envy of Esau. Okay. Wanting to do what he does. Okay. Be like him. Okay. Live by his laws. Okay. Which we are supposed to obey the laws of the land, but okay, we have to purge ourselves from the philosophies of this society because they lead to destruction. Okay, this society is led by the mindset of "do as thou wilt." Okay, which is a famous phrase by a man named Aleister Crowley. Okay, he was a damn Satanist. Okay, a damn devil worshiper. Okay, it says, so through envy of the devil, death came into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it. You take hold on the Esau, you're going to do what he does, you're going to be put to death. All right. And the brother put up, this is beautiful. The etymology, okay, online dictionary, all right, of what a woman is. Okay. It says a woman, female human, okay, Old English women plural. All right. And at the bottom down there it says plural for wife men, okay, a woman, and it says parentheses a female servant. Okay, and that's what you're supposed to be. You are created to serve a man of the Lord, the same way that we are created to serve Yahweh Shai. All right, you have to understand that. If you have a problem with that, you're not going to make it. All right, it's as simple as that. Now let's go ahead and get these scriptures, and we'll get ready to close out. Isaiah chapter 3, Isaiah chapter 3, and verse I'm gonna get verse 4. It says, and I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them. All right, and you can take that two ways. All right, Esau is like a child. Okay, his mindset is no spiritual eye salve. Okay, so it's like being ruled over by a bunch of children. Okay, but also in our communities, all right, you have literal children terrorizing so-called Negro and Latino communities. You go to Chicago, most of those young people up there that are, deleting and banging and spoiling other people are young preteens, 13, 12, 13, 14, running around with blickies. Okay. It says, and the people shall be oppressed, everyone by another, and everyone by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base against the honorable. No respect for elders. Okay. And like I said, these young people oppressing one another, selling drugs in the community, okay, spoiling one another. All right, it's mostly young people doing it, okay, quote unquote, black on black crime. All right, which Esau tries to use to accuse and say, see, you guys are wicked. Which, hey, you're right. 2/3 of our people are wicked, but that doesn't absolve you from all the things you've done either. All right, but continuing on, this is all part of the curses here. Okay, I'm gonna skip down to verse 8. It says, for Jerusalem is ruined and Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against Yahweh, to provoke the eyes of his glory. The shoe of their countenance doth witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom, they hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves, and 2/3 going to be destroyed. They don't know just how much judgment and punishment is getting ready to come their way. Okay, it says, say ye to the righteous that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. Okay, so those elect that are going against the grain and doing the right thing, you're going to be rewarded. All right, but it says, woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hands shall be given him. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. All right, we live in a matriarchy. The so-called Negro community and Latinos as well, for the most part, is matriarchy. All right, Latinos a little bit less, okay, but definitely the so-called Negro communities, we live in a matriarchy, which means that the women rule over the society, and that's in direct opposition to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai's divine plan. Okay, and like I said, not only that, but also, the woman is controlled really by the media, TV, All right. And who controls that? Okay, the elite banking family. So really it's them that control our communities. And that's why our communities are in chaos. Okay, because our most of our people are controlled by Satan, whether it is controlled by the adversary, whether it is even religiously. Okay, these false Christian churches were designed to push you more into that, and they tell you that. All right, the Christian church, they have a saying. Really, it's a worldly saying, but they push that narrative in the church as well. Happy wife, happy life. All right, which is really demonic. Okay, really, it should be happy spouse, happy house. Okay, that's really how it should be. Okay, if the man is leading properly, all right, and he's causing everything to be run in order and discipline, then if she's a righteous woman, she's going to enjoy that. And if she doesn't enjoy that, then you picked the wrong woman. All right, but anyways, okay, it says, "Oh my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths." That's right. Okay, our people being led not by the men of the Lord. They don't want to hear nothing the men of the Lord got to say. Okay, they want to listen to the plantation Christian pastor that got the 501c3. He's been set up by Esau, or they listen to the woman. Okay, and the woman is controlled by the elites as well. So I mean, either way, they listen to TV. These rappers, these actors, they look up to them. They've made them their gods, their idols, and they cause you to err, all right, and to destroy the way of that past. If you continue on in that and you don't repent, then what's going to happen? You're going to die, all right? You're not going to make it out of Babylon the Great alive. Okay, so I'm going to close out with that. All right, Lord's will is edifying. Okay, all praise on it. Yeah, that's, he said, I like that one. Happy house, happy spouse. Yep. Yeah, that's fire. And then the brother put up, this man Esau has set up a queendom, putting women on a pedestal. Exactly. That's why, yeah, most of these women, they really believe that they're better than us. They really believe that, man. And they're going to find out the hard way, okay? But it's all part of the movie, okay? It's all part of the movie. And it's part of our curse, because I'm going to tell you this. There's nothing that a man loves more than a beautiful woman, but we rebelled against the Most High. So now he's got our prized possessions, our women rebelling against us. Just part of the game. We have to accept that punishment and know that it's only temporary. But yeah. So, anyways, Lord's will is edifying as always. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. All right, the water for listening. And until next time, Shalom.